Texas Country Live. My name is Rod Binion. We will showcase the best of the local singer-songwriters, giving them the opportunity to bring their original music straight to you, the viewer. I will be asking them questions so you can learn personal information about your favorite local artists. Texas Country Live, brought to you by Performance Connections and Thread Rep LLC for all your torque turn and thread rep needs. I'm your host, Rod Binion. It's a song I wrote called Whiskey. There's a storm up on the mountain. There's a fire down below. Somehow it seems I'm trapped in between, and I can't decide which way to go. Danced off in the sunset, never even said goodbye. Dealt me a blow, it hit me so low. I've got to get her off my mind, and I need whiskey, yeah, yeah, and a little love. I need a hot little angel to cool me down, and not the kind from above. And I need whiskey, yeah, I do. Yeah, a little time, a little sun on my face, and a secret escape to help ease the pain in my mind. And I need whiskey, yeah, yeah, a little whiskey, yeah, yeah, a little whiskey. An evil heart is a smart one, and brother, it can pull you in. So you better be sure that her heart is pure. You'll never love this way again. They break it down into nothing, all the trouble that you're in. But the one thing I find that works every time gets me back loving again. And I need whiskey, yeah, yeah, and a little love. Need a hot little angel to cool me down, and not the kind from above. And I need whiskey, yeah, I do, and a little time, a little sun on my face, and a secret escape to help ease the pain in my mind. And I need whiskey, yeah, yeah, a little whiskey, yeah, yeah, I need whiskey, yeah, yeah, little whiskey, yeah, yeah, a little whiskey. All right, everybody, we'll be right back. Special guest today is Mr. Kevin Lamar, Texas Country Live. We'll see y'all in a few. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Texas Country Live, brought to you by Performance Connections. My name is Rod Binion. I'm your host. This is my good friend, Mr. Kevin Lamar. How you doing, Kevin?
Doing great.
He's an amazing singer-songwriter, performs here locally, all over town, and he's a magnificent performer, I'm telling you right now. We're thrilled to have you here, bud.
Thank you.
I appreciate you taking time to come out and out of your busy schedule. I know how difficult it can be. So anyway, you want to get kicked off? We'll start with a few warm-ups. You ready?
Okay.
Now I'm going to ask you, basically I'm going to give you two answers. You tell me which one it is, okay?
Let's kick it off. Warm-ups. All right, you ready? Hag or straight?
Straight.
Jones or Twitty?
Jones.
Hank Jr., Hank Sr.?
Hank Sr.
The Grand Ole Opry or 80,000 seat arena?
80,000 seat.
Me too. Acoustic or electric?
Both.
Both. He likes them both. Fender or Gibson?
Both.
Right on. Martin or Taylor?
Taylor.
Oh, come on, man.
Playing this one,
Right,
yes.
right. I hear you.
Changed my mind.
Skull or Copenhagen?
Skull.
Hunting or fishing?
Fishing.
NASCAR or IndyCar?
I like NASCAR.
Yeah, me too. AC/DC or Skinner?
Skinner.
Ford or Chevy?
Chevy.
All right, last one. Sinead O'Connor or Jewel?
Jewel.
Jewel, right on, man. Yeah, me too, bud. I like Jewel, man. She's hot. Okay, man, sounds good. I'd like to thank my sponsors, 59 Hangout in Porter, Triangle Express in Belleville, and McCrary Automotive in Huffman, Texas. So Cecil McCrary. He's a damn good man. Okay, y'all, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Thank you for joining us. It's Texas Country Live with our featured artist, Mr. Kevin Lamar, right here. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Texas Country Live, brought to you by Performance Connections and Thread Rep LLC for all your torque turn and thread rep needs. McCrary's Auto Repair LLC. We work hard to earn your trust and loyalty. We know how important it is to find a Huffman car service you can rely on. So your satisfaction is our top priority each and every day. McCrary's Auto Repair, 3731 Trent Road, Huffman, Texas. McCrary's Auto Repair. Come feel the difference. Triangle Express for all your hotshot flatbed shipping needs. Triangle Express is a veteran-owned and locally operated business. At Triangle Express, we get up there on time, every time. Triangle Express, we deliver. Now hiring owner-operators. Call 979-595-8871. 59 Hangout, 23736 US 59, Suite F in Porter, Texas. Y'all come see us. Pool tournaments, dart leagues, and cold beer. Check us out on Facebook. 59 Hangout. Come hang out with us. 281-704-7177.
Hello, everybody. We're back. Back here with Mr. Kevin Lamar. I'm Rod Binion, your host. You ready to do this interview, Kevin?
Yes, sir.
Now, I want you to be, honest and forthright about your answers and be as detailed as you possibly can. The people want to know information about you. They want to know about you. Okay? And that's what the whole purpose of this thing is about. Where were you born, bud?
North side of Houston, Texas.
North side of Houston, he says. And how old were you when you started playing guitar?
Probably about 5 years old when I got the nick of it, and then stuck with me ever since.
Man, I wish I'd have started when I was a kid. I tried, but, man, I just never was able to pick it up. I never got past the pain stage.
Most people have that advantage there where they start.
Right. Okay, let's see. What other instruments do you play?
I've been learning piano, bass, drums.
Cool. Right on. Okay, and when did you write your first song? You remember how old you were?
Yeah, I was probably about 15 when I came up with my first song.
Cool.
The first one I recorded about 21.
Right. I started writing poems when I think I was in middle school. I used to have my own column in the Falcon Focus at Huffman called Rodney's Rhymes.
Wow.
Yeah. I was hot shot back in the 6th grade, man.
Wow, man.
Right. Okay, let's see. And that first song you wrote, do you remember what your inspiration was?
Yeah. About family, living family, love your kids.
Right.
And just good teachings, Texas is bound on that, brought up on that,
Right.
Goodness, walking in love towards people. That's what most of my songs are all about.
Yeah, man, it's hard to not write a song about your heart, man. Because it speaks to me, I know personally speaking, it speaks to me a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And, man, most of my songs are, about love or getting love anyway.
Country music is wrapped completely around it.
Well, you mentioned your family. Was there music in your family?
Oh, yeah. Uncle
Cool.
Tom, Uncle Freddie on my mom's side, and of course my brother and my cousins, and mainly one of the most, probably be my grandfather, Charles Holiday, related to Doc Holiday.
Right.
Family reunions, watching him play is 2 or 3 years old when it started. We didn't have no steel guitars or nothing like that, so he would lay the guitar down with that Zippo lighter and play slide on the guitar.
Right.
Man, it was amazing, man, watching him.
Right. I heard about your brother, man. My deepest condolences, man. I know how tight y'all were. And, I never got the chance to know him, but I knew a lot about him because you talked about him so much. And I understand he was a magnificent dude, man.
He wrote more songs than me and played bass. He moved over on bass because I was kind of a little more gifted on guitar than he was, to his knowledge. But I learned how to write a lot of songs and learned how to structure songs with my big brother, man.
Yeah,
He just such an inspiration to me, you know. And I miss him dearly.
I get it. I get it. Well, did you play in church?
A few times when they would let me.
Right.
Can't let the Tasmanian devil come in there and play, right?
Right. Well, I think, when I played in church, man, I tell you what, I don't get stage fright. I really don't. And not since the very beginning of my career. And but when I get in that church in front of those same 6 or 7 old blue-haired old women that know me since I was a baby, and I start trying to play, man, my knees shake so bad. I'm so nervous. And the last time I tried to play in church, I tried to play Long Black Train, Josh Turner. And my mom, it's just what she wanted me to. And I said, Mom, I don't really know the words of the song yet. I'll have to bring in, the lyrics written down for me. Well, I couldn't really see it very well.
Yeah.
And then I got so lost in the song, I had to stop. It was embarrassing. I mean, that's one of the only times in my career that I ever got that lost, where I had to stop. And so when I finally finished the song, I sat down, and after church, my mom comes up to me and she says, honey, I will never, ever ask you to play in church again. I was like, I'm sorry, Mom, was it that bad? She says, no, it was great, honey. But your knees were shaking so bad I could see you shaking from where I was sitting. And I didn't realize how nervous it made you to play in church.
I played a funeral here a while back. One of my good friends passed away, Monty Wayne Sizemore, and he was a harmonica player.
Right.
And his son gave me the Gibson and the Fender to use, that borrowed from him to use as gifts. But Monty loved me so much I had to be there for his funeral, and I told him I would be there. And talking about knees shaking, I was nervous at that. Well, it's just a spirit that just, I can't describe it. It's unlike when I was 15 doing the first concert and the junior high kids. I was nervous there, but it was a different kind of
completely
feel.
different, because I've done it before myself. I mean, the gravity of the situation, standing there in front of your dead loved one, and trying to play and sing an emotional song. Obviously, it is extremely difficult. I had no idea.
Up, man. It's hard to tear.
I was traumatized when I tried to do it.
You got the Holy Spirit in there with you, and bring the Holy Spirit with you when you go.
Right.
And everything's okay.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, for me, it was a pivotal moment, because that was when I truly felt the power of music. Was when I did that, and and that kind of brings me to my next question. How old were you when you felt the power of music? How it affects people, and how it affects you personally. You remember?
Yeah, probably around when I was about 11 or 12 years old. I started learning more songs, and I started growing, listening to people like Elvis. Elvis was a great inspiring singer, the spirit he sang in. Numerous different ones in Houston, like Kelly Shop. I can go on and on about different singers, and that inspired me to listen to them play. And people like Randy Corner on the countryside picking and singing, God rest his soul.
Right.
And all of his family and friends. I go on and on and on. I mean, so many.
Sure. I knew Kelly Shop. We weren't buddies or anything, but I knew him. And he showed up at a gig that I was doing one night, and I hobbled outside, and Kelly comes up to me and goes, man, what the heck happened to you, bud? And I kind of laughed, and anyway, he says, no, man. He goes, I know all about it. He said, I heard about you. I've been checking up on you. He goes, just keep on plugging, buddy. It was very inspirational. Not really knowing Kelly that well. I'd only met him a few times before, but he knew all about my situation and gave me encouragement. I was really, really happy, but it was right before he passed.
Right, could he pick and sing? He came out one night at Rowdy Bucks. We were playing, and he was out there with Johnny Lee one night, and he was sitting in his van. He was giving everybody CDs, and real nice guy to us.
Right.
Nobody like him. I mean, he's just totally different.
Yeah.
Most of the new guys I hear, a lot of them sound similar, but no one sound like Kelly, and he was just,
And man,
Larry Butler the same way in a different aspect on the country end.
Right.
Larry taught me a lot about the business, in the business. Being 21, getting to meet Larry Butler and introduced me to Willie and opened for Gary Stewart. So
wow,
Larry Butler in Cut and Shoe, Texas, man. What a country man he was, man.
Right on. Well, those guys like that are few and far between, bud.
Oh yeah.
And when you meet somebody like that, you really, really have to take advantage as much as you can and listen to what they have to say, because they've been there, done that. They know, and there's no substitute for somebody who's been there and has the knowledge and can steer you in the right direction and keep you from making bad decisions. Because there are so many decisions to make that are so difficult, and one bad decision can hurt you for a long time. Yeah. I know from personal experience. But okay, what about the artists that are out there? Who's your favorite artist? Do you have one? Maybe top three, maybe?
Top three. I mean, I really respect what Cody Johnson is doing here in Texas.
Cody Johnson,
especially.
he's awesome, man.
Got a serious business behind him, and he's just down home, real country.
Right.
We did that new Gary Stewart with the old Gary Stewart song. She's acting single. And,
Right.
Great cut that he did on that. If you watch the video on that, how down home that is.
Right.
Been around for a little while as a Chris Young.
Chris Young, I love Chris Young.
I love some of the stuff that
deep
Blake
voice,
Shelton's doing, helping some people.
Man, I love Blake.
And locally around here, Sundance Head got one of the killer voices in town.
Right.
I mean, his band's really growing. He's, I'm sure he could have, got a bigger record deal than what he's doing right now, but he's happy and he's continuing.
Man.
And his family gets to be with him. And,
right.
And just
that
shout
says a lot.
Shout out to Sundance, man.
Right.
Hey.
Yeah, I met Sundance a couple of times. He's a super nice guy. I mean, he's so down to earth. As big as he is, or potentially could be, he's just like average, everyday kind of guy. He hadn't let any of that success go to his head. He's just a really cool guy. But,
his dad was really cool to me, too.
I never met his dad, but
I knew his dad
right.
a few times. I wasn't buddies or hanging out all the time, but through Larry Butler.
Yeah,
that's
right
how
on.
I know him. And I met Sundance when he was little one time, and then he didn't remember me this last time we had a reunion for his dad. But I did get to meet him and talk to him briefly.
Cool.
Him and the Kenny Martin band, they opened up for him a few
Sure.
times. And,
Kenny Martin's been around for a while.
yeah. Sundance been around.
Fantastic.
Been all over the state of Texas and then some. He's
right.
he's still on the road doing stuff. So I appreciate him, man. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. When you write a song, okay, do you write the music first or the lyrics first? How does it work for you?
Most of the time, it'll be music first, and then I'll add lyrics later.
Sure, that's the way I do it. I come up with the riff, and I just play it over and over and over in my head, and then eventually it'll make me think about something, and whatever it makes me think about, that's what I write about. And that's that's been my formula, and it's been relatively successful, at least at this point, anyway. Well, do you have a favorite song that you wrote?
There's many of them. I love Shine On, where that came out. It was just a demo I did on my own. Aaron Holmes recorded it over in Splendor, Texas.
Aaron's a great guy.
Simple little studio recording, home studio type recording, basically, and came out really good. A little bit of keyboards that did some
right.
additives that are in it. Y'all check that out online. Kevin Lamar, Shine On, and I did all the instruments and did every part on that.
I love that song, by the way.
And then hopefully we'll go in there and recut it with some fiddles and steels, but it may just be good. If it's good like it is, we just get more marketing on it.
Well, I just met Aaron just a few weeks ago, and the very first day, Kenny Jackson Jr. introduced me to him. But the very first day I met him, we went fishing in his pond, because I'm a big-time fisherman, and I caught, I think 4 or 5, bass. One of them was about 3 pounds, the biggest one, but his pond was real small. But man, it had some freaking fish in it, man. It was chock full of fish, And yeah, I smoked little Kenny, no doubt. Little Kenny, he wants to fish like me, but he can't.
Yeah.
He's not tall enough.
Some people are on.
That ain't right,
some days you're on. Some days you ain't. I mean.
Yeah, okay. Well, how about this? What original song that you've written that you'd like to be remembered by?
No More Bad Times to Shine On, them two. And then I'm deeply rooted in the blues, so there's a lot more I haven't recorded yet. Hopefully I'll be able to get the chance to
I
do
think
that.
you will.
And dude, there's so many. I mean, not that many, but I have enough. And
Well, guys like you, Kevin, I mean, I've known you for quite a while. You were the first guy that I hooked up with when I first started playing. We instantly became friends, started hanging out, playing together. I see what you have in you. And not everybody has that. It's a gift given from God, man. There's no doubt about it. And, when you have something like that, it's a responsibility to yourself, to your fans, your friends, but to God as well, to make use of that gift that he's given you. You didn't have to give it to you. And, from what I've seen, man, you do. You do the best that you can do, and you're constantly playing. You play out as much or more than anybody I know. And I see it all the time on social media, And I'm like, dang, I wish I was out there doing it.
That's where I find happiness. That's where
right?
that's where I belong.
But you got to keep on plugging, brother.
I find happiness and contentness there.
Because you never know, man. The next one might be the one. You never know, man. That's just crazy how that works,
Yeah.
Okay, when you're not writing or playing, what do you do? What are your hobbies?
Well, if I can go fishing when I can, that's
Right.
my favorite. My favorite when I have the
Right.
time.
Seems to be the general consensus among
Love it,
musicians
man.
just going
Peace,
fishing.
fishing. I like doing that. I like going around shopping, looking at different stuff. And
Sure.
we've been out of town a few times. Me and my spouse, Leona, out there. She's
Right. Leon.
Give me a trip to
What's up, Leon?
Atlanta.
Shout out.
And took me to Atlanta, had a good time there, and met her sister for the first time, and she never knew she had a sister.
Wow.
DNA test found that out
Wow.
real quick, and
I bet that was crazy.
her husband's a real cool guy named Toppy. He's building bikes, and Atlanta's just a beautiful, northern Atlanta. It's just beautiful up there.
Yeah.
I'll give a shout out to them.
I've never been there.
nice place to go.
You know, I've been to a lot of places, you know, Alaska, California, Colorado, New Mexico, Louisiana, but, you know, Texas is my home, man. And
Get homesick here real quick.
you know, just something about it. I mean, I don't know if it's my personality or if it's just the Lone Star State or what it is, but people are different down here, man. They're a lot different, and they're my kind of people.
It's my home tier.
You know, you go to Colorado and you tell them people you're from Texas, you know, they don't really care too much for Texas in Colorado, at least for the most part, anyway.
Well,
But I love being Texan.
right now it's a state. The way it may be a country after a while. It's
Right.
the country of Texas.
Well, you know, man, I celebrate my Texanness. You know, I love it, man, and I wouldn't trade it for anything in the
A
world.
lot of space here and a lot of room for people. We just want people to come work and
Sure, man.
enjoy themselves.
We love everybody down here.
You know, respect everybody, and love goes a long way when you do that. And I'm just thankful Texas is mine.
Right. Well, my Texas loves everybody, no matter what color you are, you know, what creed you are, how much money you have, it doesn't matter. You know, my Texas loves everybody, and everybody's welcome. You know, you just have to be a good person, love God, and respect Him, and take care of your family. That's what's important in Texas, you know.
Speaking of family, my son Jacob, amazing guitar player.
Really?
He's in like a grunge rock band.
Right
doing
on, man.
Different projects, and he's got a voice on him. He's starting to develop and recognize that he has a voice now.
Right.
Not to mention E.T. fingers, playing, you know, Eddie Van Halen to, you know, all the Jimmy Page stuff. That's too easy for him. He'd rather do Polythia and bands like that and Dream Theater and stuff like that.
Sure,
you know?
sure.
So, and right now he's going to that stage, and that's fine, but he's still deeply rooted in, got a lot of blues and roots in it and soul in his playing. So it's something that we're passing down.
Sure.
And he's taking up with it, man.
Right
So
on. That's awesome, man.
I respect him, and my girls are doing great too. All responsible, good kids.
Man,
Never been in no trouble like me.
You
or
can't
nothing
ask for
like
more than
that.
that,
You
bud.
know, I mean, you know.
You're blessed.
So I appreciate that. And Beverly, you know, my ex-wife, she's done a good job with them kids. You know, I wasn't there to be with them as much as I know I could, but I've been out having to play all the time. But,
Right, right.
yeah.
Well, all my exes hate me. I mean, I've been married twice, and they all hate me. I don't understand why, because I'm a nice guy. That's terrible, terrible, terrible. Well, you know, you're talking about your son and playing grunge. You know, I love rock and roll, too. I mean, I'm a country boy at heart, and I love country music. But I love to watch rock and roll, and I was on social media the other day, and I was looking at stuff, and this old video popped up out of nowhere on YouTube from a band, from friends of mine that I got to meet. Their name was Cadillac Voodoo Choir, okay?
Okay.
And I met these guys back in like around 2001, maybe somewhere around there. And we took a limo. We were big shopping back then, back when I still had a job. And we took a limo to Beaumont and went to see them. And me and Pam Jones and some friends took off down to Beaumont and see Cadillac Voodoo Choir. And they were freaking awesome, man. And we got to hang out with them. And we all became friends. And this guy, Chad Drummond, he's from Atlanta, Georgia. Oh my God, Kevin, you just have to see this guy, how good he is. You know, I mean, rock and roll poured out of every freaking pore in his body, man.
Wow.
He was so smooth, and he just gets up there, and he's a good-looking dude. He looks just like Steven Tyler. You know, he's a good-looking little punk, is what I say. But I love those guys, man. Him and Taxi Haskell and Danny, those guys were just incredible, man. They're incredible musicians. And I miss those guys. We used to all hang out. What I miss is hanging out after the show, you know. Because they were rock stars, brother. I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, it was like hanging out with Aerosmith. In my mind, in my book, you know, they were that freaking cool and that freaking good, you know.
We had some times doing that, but it was more, I would more be like Southern rock. And then me and my brother, we did a lot of some Guns N' Roses and covered stuff. And we wrote some, got a couple heavy metal songs, you know.
Right.
Written back from the day, too.
Well, you know, I used to sit around and watch them play acoustic and whatnot. And that was really, I was just learning. I mean, I you know, started playing guitar like in '99. So, well, I mean, I learned 3 chords in the capo a long time ago in Alaska from some buddies. But, you know, man, I didn't really learn anything other than that. And for the longest time, that's all I played. And then like in '99, I really started to play. But I hadn't really had the confidence at that point to play with those guys. So I just used to watch them. But they had no idea that I could really even play, you know, because I didn't.
You got a good voice, though, on top of that.
You know, it took me a while to get a good voice.
Well,
it's not something you have. It's something you learn. It's
one
like
thing
anything.
I'm trying to explain to Jacob in this day and age, whether all times change it, but for me, I'm thankful my dad took us to them beer joints and learned how to play learn how to play country and blues. My mom got me on them blues, man, with Johnny Winters and B.B. King and all them cats, man, that played back in them. And that rooted it. So therefore, you know, country has an open door for blues and some old rock and roll and stuff, even a little hip hop. But when it comes to thug music or or metal, it just
Right.
don't seem like it wants to. There's not. You can't cram that in there, man. But you can. But and hey, whatever you can do something different that nobody else is doing,
Right.
maybe be a trend.
Right.
But my day and age, I love playing metal and rock and heavy rock and stuff that when I was young, but I just didn't see a market in it. I mean, I was
Right.
starving to do it. I'm trying to explain that to Jacob. So you may have to think outside the box, you know. And at first, I
Sure.
kind of really didn't know what country's all about until it started growing on me, and then it did. My
Right.
dad and instilled that into me. I'm so thankful that I can play country music and
Right.
and blues and blues and oldies.
Well,
like
you
that.
are a blues man, there's no
And
doubt.
it's definitely kept me fed. Okay,
Right, right,
and it's just now still going.
right, right. I love the blues. You know, I used to listen to Howlin' Wolf and
Well-
Muddy Waters back when I was younger.
Motown kind of brought it all together back in them days, man.
Mhm.
Everybody loved it. The love was in it. My Girl, one of them old Motown songs, they're still so popular to this day. I mean,
Right,
and
right.
they still be on the radio, like the old rock stuff was when Zeppelin and Stairway to Heaven and one of those, when the
Right.
classic rock, Peter Frampton, all them, they got them certain songs, Aerosmith, they all got them songs that are still always be here.
Right,
And they're the ones, that's the kind of song I'm looking to put out.
right. That is the goal of every songwriter, is to write a song that is here for the ages.
Leave something behind.
You know, you never know. You never know.
Leave it.
Well, you know, you mentioned Motown. I was playing over at Rock, Wine, and Blues across the lake, and I was opening for Susan Hickman. She's going to be a guest next week.
Oh, cool.
But
She's a good-
it was her
she's a
CD
good
release
girl.
party.
Yeah.
And this has been, man, it's been a long time ago, maybe 2006, maybe somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm.
And so Scott Henley, the guy that owns the place, he's like, I come off stage, he goes, man, he goes, you ain't country. And I'm like, I'm like, what? He says, you ain't country, man. You got some Motown in you. You got some soul in you. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, you ain't country at all, brother. You know, Motown. You're a blues man. I'm like, dude, whatever you do, don't tell my mama that. Because she thought I was country, you know. But it was pretty funny.
Call it what you want to if it's got soul and life. Look
Right.
at what Sundance is doing right now.
Yeah, right.
Okay? You can call it what you want to. There's so much competition in country music nowadays.
Oh, man,
This
it's
kind of
crazy.
country, that kind of country, this hip-hop,
Yeah.
and this and that. I mean, real country to me is old Bob Wills, man, that old Texas
Right.
swing where it
Right.
came from.
That's country.
Okay? Conway Twitty, George Jones,
Right. Well, I
Merle
watched,
Haggard. Merle Haggard,
right. I
man.
watched the CMAs the other night.
So,
And I was surprised at some of the music that is so popular now, you know. And it may not be my cup of tea, but you know what? It changes. It's generational, just like anything else, you know. And any other kind of music, same way. And I know that, you know, I don't like the kind of music that my dad listened to, and I'm sure he doesn't like the kind of music that I listen to. And you know, that's just the way it works, you know.
at first I
That's
did.
the evolution of genre. But I was shocked. And, you know, for the most part, there were a lot of the songs that I heard, if it came out maybe 10 years ago, it had been on a different station. It had been considered pop, you know. And they have that pop beat and, you know, the drum line or whatever. And, you know, hey, whatever works, man. I'm not dogging anybody for certain. Hey, if you're out there doing it, you're doing it, man. I'm not. I'm sitting at home, you know.
Well, yesterday we mentioned Blake Shelton and what an amazing singer and
Right.
songwriter he is, and helping so many people in this business.
Right.
And he can listen to you, man, and can help critique what you're doing.
Right.
And I think you know what a great job he did with Sundance and everybody on The Voice
Sure.
for that matter. And I just shared one of his videos a couple months ago, just
Right.
him playing acoustic.
Right.
And he shared it with me 'cause I'm a fan page, and
Right.
it's just a song that didn't get released. You know,
Right.
it got cut, but didn't release. And he can do kind of get it back in there now. You know,
Right.
20
Right.
years ago, you ain't allowed to do this, but you know, they're under a label. But he can kind of, if you have your own label, can kind of,
Right.
you know, do what you like to do and what you think would be best for the people, instead of being kind of under a strict label that you can only do this, wear these kind of pants, look like this, sing these songs, and that's it.
Right.
So you get freedom if you have your own label.
Sure.
You know.
Sure. And you know, it's hard to do. It really is. Back, you know, 20 years, 30 years ago, you know, there were nobody had their own label. You know, the record companies ran a freaking show, man.
That's right.
And they had you by the kahunas, you know.
Yeah.
And you either did what they said or you go home. And thank goodness, there's been a big change from that. And a lot of the artists are going their own way and doing their own thing. And I think it has a lot to do with the evolution of the genre.
Look at Cody Johnson right now.
Right. Right.
He's incredible. But,
Right.
you know, teamwork.
Right.
Without teamwork, you know, you don't get that. You don't even get blessed to even get to hear it without teamwork doing it.
Right,
People
right.
loving each other and
Sure.
caring about their position and taking it.
Sure. Sure.
You mentioned you got Susan Hickman coming in. What a sweet angel
She's
she
cool.
is.
She's a
And
cool chick, man.
I sat in with her one time a few years back at Freddie Live's birthday party.
Yeah.
Over there off of the 510 Club.
Right.
And she just got a sweet voice. She's a sweet,
She does.
sweet little angel, and she's
Well-
just great. She got a good country sound, and she's just real bubbly.
Well, you know, considering I saw her back then when she was really kind of
Yeah.
first kicking it off, and compared to the way she is now, she's evolved,
grown,
man, as an
man, big
artist and a
time.
performer.
Yeah.
she could sing back then. She had a great voice, but her performance, man, is what's cool, and she connects, and that's the hard thing to do. But I like Susan. I respect her immensely, and you know what? She's a hard-working chick, man.
She is.
She absolutely gets out there and gets it done. She advertises. She
She's doing
promotes
more than
herself.
I'm doing, and of course at her age, and she's getting after it right now, and she's
Right.
got a good team behind her, and
She
she
does.
advertises really well. She looks nice, and she sounds real sweet.
She does.
And she's one of my favorite country girls out there in the love. There's numerous of her friends as well.
Right.
And I can go on and on, but I
Right.
don't think we got time to mention
Sure.
all of them.
Well, she did that. She does the Girls with Guitars thing, which
Yeah.
is kind of an answer or response to the
Yeah.
10-Man Jam. That was all over the radio
Exactly.
for a long time.
Oh yeah.
And they still do for
And Peyton Howie's another one out there. I really love that girl too. She's
Yeah.
really going places as well. She's already done a lot.
Yeah.
I can go on and on for all you girls from country.
Yeah, right on. Well, that's what I told Susan. I said, hey, I need somebody to represent the girls, okay? When I called her up.
She will.
And she says, man, I'm in, brother. And so I was really happy to hear that. But I'm excited about having her on. So, okay, you're talking about Blake helping out Sundance, okay? And you mentioned him critiquing the stuff.
Well, everybody for
How,
that matter.
how do you handle, do you want to hear constructive criticism? Does that bother you? I know for me personally, it just depends on who it's coming from,
Well, regardless of who it's coming from, you evaluate what's been said, and it's just something I need to add to what I'm doing.
Right.
Or take out or add.
Well, I know for me personally, I don't like every song that I hear, okay? And I certainly don't expect everyone to like every song that I write. It's just not a reasonable expectation, But, so if you have legitimate criticism or points to point out that you either disagree with or agree with, as far as my music is concerned, I want to hear it. But what I don't like is, well, you're singing off key in this particular point. I'm like, yeah, no kidding, man. That stuff really, really ticks me off when somebody tells me I'm singing off key. I know I'm off key, but I'm not thinking about that at that point,
I haven't heard you.
Well, it happens.
In a while, but
Believe it or not.
I've never noticed that. You said, I don't.
Right. Well, let's get a little bit personal here. What kind of man are you? What's important to you?
I'm a Texas man. I've been kind of just living a hard life. We didn't grow up from nothing, man, out of the north side of Houston. It's just, anybody from north side that lives out in the country now, you kind of know, living in that area back over there, it's hard to get through that thing.
Right.
So I've learned and been disciplined and to work from nothing and grow from the bottom up, man. So
Right.
it kind of disciplines you a little bit.
Sure.
Being humble. Being in trouble a few times. I got to kind of learn from our mistakes.
Right.
And I only wish I would listen to what my dad had to tell me a little earlier than what I
Right. I totally agree.
and other people who try to teach you when you're young and you don't
Right.
know now. But if you don't know now, son,
I
later on you will understand.
I can
what I'm
relate to
saying.
that big time,
Okay.
But let's see here. Okay, so when you're writing a song, okay, what elements do you think a good country song should contain?
Well, it's got some good structure, and it's got to have a good message in it, and it's got to have a good catchy groove or catchy beat in it.
Mm-hmm.
Techniques in it, depending on the song, but depending on who you're playing for, and what
Right.
kind of country now you're going to be playing for.
Right. Well, the majority of my songs are about love, and not
That's
necessarily. They're not necessarily about somebody, or I'm actually talking about a specific person. For the most part, it's an imaginary person that I'm talking to. Just because that's the way my love life has gone for
Me
whatever
too.
reason.
Me too. I speak to the crowd, and they're 75% of all the songs I've got
Right.
is about love. They're real simple messages, nothing extravagant.
Right.
Maybe one verse, two verses, sometimes just 2 or 3 lines. Some of the instrumentals, no words at all, just all music.
Right.
Let captivate the music, let the spirit move to the music,
Right.
and let them get an idea how to feel from that.
Sure.
So,
Sure. Well, what's the craziest thing that's ever happened at one of your shows?
well, it wasn't really crazy, but I was kind of put on the spot one time playing with a posse band, and give a shout out to Britt Ennis for keeping the posse together for so long.
Britt's a cool guy, man.
He is a cool guy, and
I remember a long time ago, I sat in with y'all one time over
Yeah.
in Tomball, I think it was.
yeah,
Red River or something like that.
yeah, Red River. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. It's been a while back.
It has, a long time.
And but good times are getting back to that is one time when Fort Bend County we were opening up for Little Texas.
Cool.
That was a nervous show. My knees were a little shaking. That was 6,000
Right.
people, and I had an old junky guitar. It busted a string on it.
Right.
I didn't have a backup, and then they come running out there. His guitar player came ran out there, handed me a Telecaster, and man, I fell in love with that thing. It just enhanced the band up a whole lot. So it was like, hey, somebody's recognizing me. They
Right,
care.
right. Right.
So that was kind of cool. It wasn't crazy, but it's
Right.
something
I've had some crazy stuff. I know one that comes to mind. I was in Humble at this place called the Side Pocket, a small place, and we get in there and we start playing, and there were maybe 10 people in there at the time.
I remember that.
And these girls, man, I had no idea who they were. Man, they start taking their clothes off, and I'm telling you, they stripped down, butt ass naked, okay, with nothing on with their shoes, okay. And somebody called the cops. Well, you know the cops, they get a naked lady call, right? Well, every day gun cop in Humble shows up.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
I heard about that, man.
And I'm telling you right now, man, they were in there and they were none too happy about it. Well, the girls heard the cops were coming, so man, they take off, you know, and we're stuck there. And so the cop asked me, who was that? Is that your girl? I said, man, I've never seen those girls before in my entire life. I had no idea who they are, you know. Yeah. He says, well, you know, you can't be having that happen. I said, brother, I'm sorry, but it wasn't my fault. I'm just doing my job. I have a job to do, to play music, and they just, for whatever reason, decide to take their clothes off. But don't let it happen again. Well, guess what? The very next week, we're playing there again. The same girls were there, and the same thing happened, okay? Man. And they took off before the cops get there. And, you know, I think maybe 5 or 6 patrol cars out in the parking lot is not a good thing, you know. And so the cop comes there, and it's the same guy, and he's like a captain, I think. Well, maybe not a captain, but he had bars. I don't know what they were, but he was up there. Yeah. And so he tells me, he says, let me tell you something, buddy. He goes, I know you know who those girls are, and which I had not a clue, man. I swear to God, I had no clue. He says, but this happens again, and you're going to jail. And I'm like, what? And I don't know if he was serious or not.
Man, you don't have puppet strings on people, man. Telling them what
well, you know, he said something
about
playing
sexy music, making them playing strip
right?
music. No.
And I'm like, you know, I was a cop before, so you know, I was a cop for a while. And I'm like, what could I possibly go to jail for? He said, inciting a lewd act to public. And I was like, you know, I don't know if that's. I'm thinking to myself, maybe he's right. You know, maybe that is a law. You know. But anyway, I said, I promise you, sir, that if they start taking their clothes off again, I will stop playing. You know. But I never saw them again after that, thank goodness. But that's a true story, though. You know, it's crazy how some things that happen when you're out there playing music. It's just crazy.
I can go on and on and on about crazy stuff that has happened, but I don't think we got enough time.
Right. Well, let me think. You know, is there something about yourself that you want people to know about you that we haven't talked about? You know, something that's personal that you would like for your fans to know.
Just want to get people to know. Even you may see some stuff on my criminal record to see what it is. I'm a good, honest man. I care about what the truth is. I want people to walk in the truth. And the truth can't hurt you. It may hurt you, but it can set you free.
Right.
Okay? So all I got to tell people and youngsters out there playing, always walk in truth. Do good. Watch who you're listening to. I mean, don't give up. Keep on playing and keep on saying there's going to be bumps in the road. There's going to be a lot of other stuff. You know, just try to look to the good side. There's light on the other end of the tunnel. Okay, guys? And just put your spirit in the music, you know.
Sure.
Be good. Walking
well,
up.
You know, I know this from personal experience from playing with you. I mean, there's never been a time when you said you would be there and you weren't. You know, you always showed up on time.
If I'm not,
and ready to roll.
Wrong. Something's wrong.
And if you know, I don't recall that ever happening, but I'm certain that I know for myself, if I commit to something and I can't make it, everybody and their sister knows about it and the reasons why, and I try my best to make sure that I make other arrangements for them. You know, and if I can't, but at least they have enough time to make the arrangements for themselves. Yeah. But I think it's important to be a man of your word, especially in this business. You know, and to be able to deliver a good quality product. You know, if you had 20 minutes for a break, only take 20 minutes. You know, don't show up drunk, don't show up high. You know, and you know, throughout my experiences, I've had guys in my band that showed up drunk, showed up high, and it was awful. You know, but for the most part, I had a pretty solid group, and it enabled us to achieve what we were able to achieve and get in that upper echelon of bands that play for the additional money that not everybody gets, you know. And I think that's important.
Texas Backbone been working behind me here lately for the past year, and they're all really good, honest guys. They you know, one of them's retired, 2 of them are retired, and one's still working for doing electric work. He's a licensed electrician, but he plays bass. Anthony Fowler, give a shout out to him. Really good guy, man.
Sure.
Took the shirt off his back, okay? And he's never been in no trouble like I have before or anything like that.
Right.
And he's just he prays for everybody every day, and he's a really good guy to have by your side.
Sure.
And we got a show coming up on the 26th at the Hot Chicken Shack in Beaumont, Texas.
Beaumont, sweet.
So starting at 7 p.m. to Texas Backbone, and then
what else you got coming up?
Britt's coming back out of from being injured. You know, actually had a surgery.
Right. Heard about that. I hope he's doing well.
Kidney surgery this time. He
get well soon, Britt.
Yeah, get well soon, and then hopefully by February we'll be back in action again.
Right.
But his voice ain't let him down. Even through going through dialysis and everything he's had to go through. And whenever we do have a show, okay, his voice ain't never let him down.
Right.
And he's one of the diehards, and he's gonna keep singing and keep thriving and going, and like we did in Aldine. And he encouraged me too on the business aspect of it. I've learned a lot from him. And Larry Butler, okay, and Pat Butler. She would screen the band before the band would get to come in. Don't come here drunk. Don't come here high. None of that. And look nice and be nice and smile, whether you're mad or not. Smile anyway.
It's important to smile.
Yeah. So that goes a long way, people.
Right. Well, you know, man, I remember the first time that I saw the Posse. You know, Britt played drums.
Yeah.
And he came out from behind the kit and got up there, you know, in the front and started, you know, singing. And then he starts dancing, okay? And he's somewhat of a big old boy like me. You know, I'm a little bigger than he is. But, man, he was getting down. I was like, how in the heck does he do that?
When he gets ready, he will.
Hey, I'm telling you right now, man, he was laying it down, brother, and I was so impressed.
He's going to be doing the splits for a little while. But like I told everybody on the messages, he'll probably be back at it for long.
Right.
And if he's determined, he's that determined to do it, though. So.
Well, you know, it takes a huge set to get up in front of people like that and do what he did, man. I had utmost respect for him.
Yeah, and he's been performing for a long time. And he's had a band together, and probably we got trophies for it. And Texas
they've got
Music
like
Awards,
Band of the Year.
2017 Band of Award we did.
Yeah. I remember that. That's pretty cool, man.
And another thing like that, just saying for anybody out there, just be determined. You know, people don't make it if they're not determined. And
Right.
And you know, focus your goals, man, what you're doing, and there's gonna be bumps down the road, but get back up and ride. Get back up and ride.
Right.
You know.
Right. You're absolutely correct. Well, is there anything that I haven't asked you that you think I should have?
No, I think we kind of summed it
You
up.
covered?
Do a few songs here, and
Well, you ready?
appreciate you having me, man.
Well, I want you to do a couple originals.
Okay.
And yeah, man, because I dig what you do, man. That's why you're here. You're my friend, but you know, first and foremost, I dig what you do. And you're a very qualified singer-songwriter, as far as I'm concerned. And what I mean by that is, you know, what you do, it hits that bar, you know, and it sets the bar. And I don't know if anybody out there that's doing it better than you are. It may be a little different than everybody,
Different.
but you know,
different. That's all.
and different is cool.
Have passion in what you do, man. If you have
And you know, you ride that passion dog big time, man. And I respect that, brother. I'm telling you right now, because it's tough sometimes, you know. But you do what you do, and I appreciate it. I do. So we'll go ahead and take a break, and we'll come back and get Kevin to do his live music. And my name's Rod Binion, your host, Texas Country Live, Mr. Kevin Lamar, and we'll be right back.
Texas Country Live, brought to you by Performance Connections and Thread Rep LLC for all your torque turn and thread rep needs. McCrary's Auto Repair LLC. We work hard to earn your trust and loyalty. We know how important it is to find a Huffman car service you can rely on. So your satisfaction is our top priority each and every day. McCrary's Auto Repair, 3731 Trent Road, Huffman, Texas. McCrary's Auto Repair. Come feel the difference.
Hey, everybody, we are back. My name's Rod Binion. It's Texas Country Live. It's my buddy, Mr. Kevin Lamar, right here. Kevin's got the guitar out. He's going to do a few original tunes for us. And what you going to start off with, Kevin?
A song called No More Bad Times, one of the first one I recorded.
Right.
A.B. Middlestat studio.
Anything you want to say about it? What it's about? Who it's about?
Well, living the life we've had growing up, you know, not having very much down in that
Sure.
town. You know, there's a lot of bad times. And,
Right.
you know, the good Lord tells us, hey, sooner or later there won't be no more bad times if you believe.
Amen to that, brother.
Okay, so this
Right,
with the song
right.
focus on family and love.
Cool.
Okay.
All right, man.
Here we go, guys. I know you, darling, you know me. Let's ride on her horse, honey, can't you see? Been a long time since we made up our minds. Let's love our kids, honey, can't you see? And said now, no more bad times, but I love you anyway. No more bad times, but I love you anyway. take your time. Honey, you can go far as you want to let. Open your heart and you make a new start. Lord Jesus has set us free. No more bad times, but I put you away. No more bad times, but I love you anyway, and love you anyway.
That was awesome, buddy.
A
Sweet.
short version there.
Right on, right on. Cool, man.
And this next one here is one I've been working on recently. Haven't been released yet. So, and Texas Backbone backed me up on a few times.
Right on.
It's called Leave It All Behind.
Leave it all behind. Right on. Mr. Kevin Lamar right here.
Who do you love? Darling, who do you love? Who do you love? Is it him or me? I'm down on my knees and I'm begging you please. Mama don't mind, Daddy don't mind. Won't you leave it all behind? Why don't you stay a little longer? Mama don't mind, Daddy don't mind, girl. Won't you leave it all behind? Why don't you stay? I've been waiting on your call. One of these days, honey, I'll be gone. Why don't you stay?
Wow. Wow. I felt that one right here. You know, that's what I'm talking about.
Sugar
Heck,
Dog is
Sugar
in the
Dog.
house.
That's
Sugar
right.
Dog.
She's a superstar right here, man.
Oh
Yeah, she's our official mascot, you know. But she digs it whenever people are, when you hear people play.
cool. Hope
She
you
just
don't
real-
get mad if we play the Kitty Cat Blues.
She's not real big fans of cats, I can tell you
But
that.
she won't know it, but she does. But you know, she's such a gentle dog, and she's so. I've never, you know, you probably ever see her get mad unless it's like
Well, you know,
barking
let me
and
tell you,
squirrels or something.
little cat walk out in the front yard and she goes absolutely
Oh,
crazy.
okay.
She don't like, but you know, she thinks she's tough. But
Yeah.
when she was young, she went outside the back door in Hempstead, and there were some little kittens there. Well, she
Right.
didn't realize that the mother was underneath the car, and so she goes out there and messes with those kittens.
Yeah.
And man, that mother come out from underneath that van
Yeah.
and took off after her, and it scared her to death, man. And she run around the van, and come jump up in my lap, and just said, "Ee." And ever since then, man, she won't even go outside to this day, and that's been 5-6 years ago. To this day, when she walks outside, she's checking it out, making sure that.
Hey, let's put her on TV a little closer. Let's show her the little logo. This
Yeah,
is Sugar Dog.
Little Sugar Dog logo right there. She's a Texan. She's proud to be a Texan. Heck yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, man, one more time. So what you got?
Okay, we're gonna go back and do the Kitty Cat Blues.
Kitty Cat, but I dig this song, man.
So-
it's cool. I dig it.
No disrespect to Sugar Dog.
No, man, it's okay.
You know, Kitty
She'll
Cats.
handle it.
All right.
She'll get there. Mr. Kevin Lamar, y'all. Kitty Cat Blues.
I never wanna see your kitty cat howl the blues. Never wanna see your kitty cat howl the blues. Feeling kinda lonely, darling, I'll show you what to do. downtown, pretty red dress on. Walking downtown, pretty red dress on. The boys all turn. That girl got the kitty cat blues. She got the kitty cat blues. Kitty cat blues. Kitty cat blues. Kitty cat blues. Yeah, kitty cat blues. Kitty cat blues. Oh, the kitty cat blues. Doors all turn when that girl, she got the blues.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
Kitty, kitty.
Heck yeah. All right, y'all. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with the Shoot It or Boot It little section we got going on. And y'all give it up for Mr. Kevin Lamar right here. I appreciate you coming out, brother.
Thank
Absolutely,
you,
man. And we'll be right back. Thank you very much, y'all. Texas Country Live.
Texas Country Live, brought to you by Performance Connections and Thread Rep LLC for all your torque turn and thread rep needs. McCrary's Auto Repair LLC. We work hard to earn your trust and loyalty. We know how important it is to find a Huffman car service you can rely on. So your satisfaction is our top priority each and every day. McCrary's Auto Repair, 3731 Trent Road, Huffman, Texas. McCrary's Auto Repair. Come feel the difference. 59 Hangout, 23736 US 59, Suite F in Porter, Texas. Y'all come see us. Pool tournaments, dart leagues, and cold beer. Check us out on Facebook. 59 Hangout. Come hang out with us. 281-704-7177. Triangle Express for all your hotshot flatbed shipping needs. Triangle Express is a veteran-owned and locally operated business. At Triangle Express, we get up there on time, every time. Triangle Express, we deliver. Now hiring owner-operator. Call 979-595-8871.
Real big shit, me and Kenny Jackson both come play.
Right.
And he'll do like chicken picking stuff, and I'll be on slide doing
Right.
slide and he can do. We can both do a little bit, you know. But I'm probably a little more rooted in the blues, and he's more rooted
Right.
in the Jerry Reed kind of.
Yeah,
But
right.
we really feed off each other a whole lot.
You know, man.
I mean, he's just
they're-
one of the baddest pickers, man.
You
And
talking about senior or junior?
both of them,
Both
but
of them?
mainly senior,
Right.
senior.
Right.
I mean,
Man, I was at Westfields by the railroad way back when I was first learning how to play. And there's a guy named Richard Lulo that owned House of Guitars.
yeah,
Richard showed up one night, and I knew he was coming.
yeah.
And so I got up there with Richard Lulo, this guy named Ricky Jackson, okay, and Steve Haygood, who worked at House of Guitars, and then Hugh Meyer, okay. And so, you know, Richard comes to me and goes, man, just remember that these cats are awesome on guitar, and give them the time to do what they do, you know. And so, because I was singing the song, you know, coming up on my little, you know, set that I got to do. And, dude, I'm telling you right now, man, they were going back and forth. And they were calling out, man, you know, this is what Clapton would do. And it, you know, 20-note riff in the Clapton style. And then they would say, okay, well, Stevie Ray would do it like this, you know.
Yeah.
And then I went every one of them, and they were going back and forth. And I was in awe, dude. I quit playing. I was standing there watching. It was so freaking
So
good.
many people doing that Stevie and that blues. There's tons of kids doing all
Right.
kinds. And one thing about you, I'm gonna bring up to you something you might have forgot that happened a long time ago. I brought this keyboard in when I said with you down at Cherokee Roy's,
Right.
okay? And all of a sudden, instead of using a piano for the drums and everything, Kevin, let me have it by myself for a minute. I started putting that Charlie Rich on it, man. And brother, you remind me, man, you look like him. a little bit,
Yeah, right.
But brother, you sound like him. You had a voice, started singing some Charlie Rich on piano.
I
Who
used to
does
do
that? Now, who
Yeah.
does that? So we
You
give
know,
a
man,
shout
I
out
used
to
to love
Rod
doing that
Binion,
shit.
guys. If you've never heard the guy back in the day, stay tuned. He's coming back.
Right. You know, man, I love doing that stuff. And I even bought a new keyboard and been practicing, you know, actually learning how to play the right way, you know.
You man,
But,
brother, man.
Okay, let's finish this up so you can get out of here. We're going to shoot it or boot it, okay? All right, I'm going to count it down.
McCrary's Auto Repair, LLC. We work hard to earn your trust and loyalty. We know how important it is to find a Huffman car service you can rely on. So your satisfaction is our top priority each and every day. McCrary's Auto Repair, 3731 Trent Road, Huffman, Texas. McCrary's Auto Repair. Come feel the difference.
Okay, everybody, we are back. Texas Country Live. I'm your host, Rod Binion. My buddy Kevin Lamar right here. We're going to do a little segment here called Shoot It or Boot It, sponsored by McCrary Auto in Huffman, Texas. Okay, I'm gonna ask you or give you an adult beverage, okay? And you tell me if you would shoot it or boot it? In other words, do you like it or not? You dig? You ready? Okay, let's see here. Tequila.
Shoot it.
All right. Jack Daniels.
Shoot it.
All right, speak up. Jägermeister.
Boot it.
Boot it. How about medical?
Shoot it.
Yeah. All right, how about moonshine?
Thumbs up.
Rebel mints.
Not so. Not so.
All right,
Boot
wild
it.
turkey. Shoot it or boot it?
Shoot it.
All right, red wine. Shoot it or boot it?
I like red wine. Shoot it.
Goldschlager.
Boot it.
Okay, how about Southern Comfort? Shoot it or boot it?
Shoot it.
And finally, how about Jim Beam? Shoot it or boot it?
Shoot it.
Right on, brother.
Good whiskey.
Hey, man, thank you, Kevin. I really appreciate you taking the time, buddy. I enjoyed it, and you did a great job. I appreciate you, man. Okay, everybody, Mr. Kevin Lamar right here. Where are you playing at?
Tonight, a place called Ransom Steakhouse.
Okay.
Out in Montgomery, Texas. Beautiful place for family dining, good country cooking, Texas
Right.
country cooking.
And where else you play? I know you play all over town.
And then tomorrow, we got one out the Bernhardt Winery out there.
The winery.
Jerry Bernhardt has
Cool.
see me last night. Great guy, a great family and team that they have out there at the Bernhardt in Plantersville, Texas. They have concerts on Sunday nights
Right.
and acoustic on Saturdays.
Cool. And what's the name of your band?
The name of the group that's been backing me up is the Texas Backbone.
Texas Backbone. I don't think I've ever heard them play.
Yeah, so they got
Right.
one in the Hot Chicken Shack in Beaumont on
Cool.
November the 26th.
Cool.
And then we got the posse going to be back together real soon. Britt's getting better day by day.
Yeah.
So hope we're looking forward to
Good
Texas
for you, Brett.
Rodeo. Texas
Get-
Rodeo this year.
Get
coming
well
up.
soon, Brett. We need you out here, buddy. All right, y'all. Hey, thank y'all very much for joining us. Texas Country Live, brought to you by Performance Connections. And we'll come back and see you real soon, and I appreciate y'all coming out. And y'all give it up for Mr. Kevin Lamar. Look for him out there. He's a great performer. I know you'll enjoy every bit of his show. So thank y'all very much, and we'll be back. Hey, and one more thing before we go. Hey, Texas Country Live and Rod Binion, and I know Kevin Lamar backs the blue, brother, okay? We support local law enforcement. And when you see a cop out there, thank him for what he does and his sacrifice and his service, because it's important. We couldn't, this world would be absolutely insane without him. And I thank you guys. We're on your side, okay? All right then, Texas Country Live. My name is Rod Binion. We appreciate y'all coming out. Tyler, take it easy. We'll see you soon.